Red imported fire ants. Yeah, the ones that try to bite your ankles when you're hanging out on your lawn. They have been a formidable opponent for decades, causing damage to native ecosystems and ranches throughout the southeast US since they were accidentally brought here from Argentina in the 1930s. Researchers have found that red imported fire ant colonies can differ greatly in their behaviors, and that a specific gene mutation in the fire ant genome can actually allow multiple fire ant queens to live together in the same colony. These colonies are called polygyne, and they are even more pesky than colonies with only one queen because they can spread further, faster. We'll show you how scientists figure out which ant colonies have this gene mutation and how this biological knowledge is changing the way people might deal with these pests in the future.
It usually takes probably 20 minutes or so. For me, that's about what it is.
Like, how did you get into this?
Documentaries. David Attenborough. And right in this corner over here, there's like a patch of polygynes, and it's the way it's been for like since we started coming out here.
Researchers found that when fire ants encounter water, they link limbs and form massive floating rafts with their bodies. Biologists use this knowledge in the lab to easily separate the ants from soil, using their own biology against them.
So what are some of the essential tools of an ant biologist?
Gloves and baby powder, I'd say, mostly.
And hot dogs.
Hot dogs, yes, for field work. Adrian's gonna get to work with hot dogs all summer. So what I'm trying to do is get the ants without getting the brood or the queen. So if I set my hand in there, all the workers will get angry and just climb up my hand.
I'll be like sitting on the bus and find them all up my shoes. I usually find out because they start biting my ankles.
Yeah.
So this is how you get DNA from ants. So I have 15 to 20 ants in this vial, and we're gonna use these metal beads to mash them into pieces. We're looking at the DNA of these ants because we want to know if they come from a polygyne colony, so a colony with multiple queens, or a monogyne colony, a colony with one queen. And so if we are able to demonstrate which version of the gene they have, so it's a pretty simple assay.
Once researchers get the ants' genetic code, they look to see which version of the gene they have. Queens that have the social version of the gene are polygyne and are effectively more cooperative.
Ants from multiple queen colonies can make long strings of colonies, and they don't fight, they don't compete with each other, they kind of just spread further and further and cause more impact.
Knowing this about fire ants, biologists have been developing pest control methods that use our knowledge about polygyne colonies to better control them. Biologists are researching something called biocontrol, a way of decreasing the number of invasive ants using natural phenomena, like spreading fatal fungi or diseases throughout polygyne colonies.
So we take the view here that in order to control an invasive pest, that you have to understand a lot about its ecology. Social insects provide levels of complexity that are extremely challenging. So, you know, you can imagine that you can't kill an individual ant worker. You have to affect the health and the well-being of the entire colony. In fire ants, we have got several natural enemies that have been identified that we're studying and are actually rolling out as prospective biological control agents, which are all shown to have different effects in just diminishing the health of the colonies, slowing down their ability to reproduce, to forage, and the net result is you'd have smaller ant colonies.
Biocontrol methods like these can be extremely effective and show promise as an exciting way to reduce the impact of red imported fire ants in the US and across the globe. To find out more about fire ant research, visit UT's Brackenridge Field Laboratory at bfl.utexas.edu.